What about Breece Hall? I mean, I know we got Javonte Williams at home. Breece Hall is a level above.
What's up, you sickos? Shout out to all of you guys who are listening to the mini pod this week. Jeff is in Tokyo, so it's me and Pop running the show with this thing. We might get a little messy. We might not. But we're asking the question, and here's the question. If you woke up and you were 83 years old, well, 82 right now, and you had a bunch of money, you were the owner of the Bravo Eugenia, you were owner of Jared Force One and the helicopter, but you were also the general manager.
Gene owns Bravo Eugenia. I just want to record that's Gene's boat. Since you want to get messy, let's just get messy. That's Gene's boat.
That ain't Gene boat.
That's Gene boat.
That's Gene boat. Gene might have the name on it, but Gene ain't paying the note on that boat. Gene ain't paying the note.
It don't matter. That's Gene's boat.
Gene ain't paying the note.
I need you to get
Gene
married.
ain't paying the note on that boat.
The mama said that's my house. That's her house. That's Gene's boat.
Okay, Gene boat. If you were the co-owner of the boat, then Gene on one half, Jerry owns the other, and you had to pick up the phone as the general manager of the Dallas Cowboys, who is the first free agent that you are calling? You go first, Clarence.
I mean, it's a layup, sir. I mean, come on, let's just be honest. Let's be real. I'm calling David Mulugeta.
Mulugeta.
Mulugeta. That's what I'm calling. I'm calling David Mulugeta. I'm calling David. The first free agent I called, the free agent I should have called, should have already been talking to him, George Pickens. I mean, charity starts at home. I mean, let's start at home. The first one I'm calling, I'm getting I'm getting the home team done. I'm taking care of business at home first. The number one free agent, I looked at the list, the number one free agent in the entire league is one George Pickens.
Yep.
He's the number one rated free agent in the entire league. He's mine. He's in my backyard. I have exclusive negotiating rights with George Pickens. He's the one I'm calling. I'm calling George. Curious George. Bad boy George.
Are you calling George with the intent of giving him a deal that you know that he and David Mulugeta would want, or are you calling George with we're gonna play this negotiating game and we're gonna lowball out the gate, like, because you could get this thing done. You kind of pretty much know what numbers that they're looking at. You can get this thing done quick fashion in a hurry if you want to.
As a little boy told a little girl, you never know till you try. I'm gonna try to get him at my number. I'm gonna try to get him at my number. You got to try, right? It's old college. You got to try to see if he gonna go to sleep. You got to try to see if he gonna blink. Yeah, let me try to get you at a team-friendly deal. But I do have a ballpark. That's why you give a team-friendly deal. That's why you negotiate. This is what you want. This is what I want. And let's try to meet somewhere in between. But, I'm not going to give you my best offer up front. That's just not how deals work.
But you could just get it done. You don't have to do the rigmarole and all the bouncing around. Just go ahead and give him a deal that he can't refuse.
But he can refuse it. And with I won't say crude. I would say not crude, but an agent that is savvy.
Okay.
I know that your first offer is not your best offer. So if you give me this now, what you gonna give me when it's nut cutting time? Okay, I know. So we all know this. So you're saying deal you can't refuse, and I'm saying there's some wiggle room here. So the idea, and it sounds good. I know, I'm gonna give you my best offer. I know what the money is. I'm gonna give you this, and I know you'll take it. You don't know, because I know if you give me this now, then you're gonna give me something later.
There's a couple names on this free agent list that, yes, I think the George Pickens, that's low-hanging fruit. I should have said minus George Pickens, right? Because that's low-hanging fruit. That's in your backyard. That's in your wheelhouse. That right there is down the street from you. You ain't even gotta. You can walk down the street, knock on the front door, and make that happen. But I mean, the answer is outside of George Pickens, it has to be something on defense, right? Yes. And there are going to be a contingency of people that go, well, give me Hendrickson, right? The DN from the Cincinnati Bengals. There's Jalen Phillips, the edge edge rusher in the Philadelphia Eagles organization right now. And one of the guys that I really like, and I think if you can kind of start nailing these things down in free agency, I like this Coby Bryant kid. I like this Coby Bryant kid, safety out of Seattle. I think if you're looking to upgrade that room and you're looking to upgrade that, and this is all, I'm thinking about this with the thought process in mind of Christian Parker. I'm the GM, but I'm thinking for Christian Parker. I'm thinking, what is he good at? What is his skill set? What does he need to help turn this thing around? And I'll break this down probably sometime next week. The Vic Fangio cover 4 match. I need some guys who can be versatile, have the brain thought process. And if I can bring a guy like that in, and this is someone who, we can kind of start from the back and work our way forward, getting a guy, to me, that level of safety, I don't think it's a tough deal to try to get. I do think he's one of the better players in this free agent class in the secondary with his youth and his age. You bring a guy in like that, you put him in that secondary, and then now you start kind of building pieces around that. This Christian Parker, secondary player, secondary coach, that's where his mind is at. He talked about multiple times about that nickel position, about the safety play, teaching and learning. And I just think if we're going to kind of run this kind of cover 4 zone type situation, you need those guys in the back end to be good. You need those guys to be versatile, smart, rangy, because of the mechanics of the cover 4 match and how that breaks down. So yes, George Pickens, I think, is the easy first call because of the relationship that's already there. But for me, it's going to be a guy like Coby Bryant. Like, let's go and see if we can't shore up that back end with bringing in a safety in there. And I think, again, that eliminates a position that now when you go into the draft, you don't have to really now stretch for a safety out there. You can start working out maybe towards a corner or maybe towards a linebacker, maybe towards a rush in. But I wouldn't be mad if the Cowboys picked up the phone and called Jalen Phillips to see what that number looks like. If I was a general manager, again, hey, what you talking about? What you talking about, Phillips? Because we do need more depth at those positions. But me first, aside of George Pickens, I'm calling and seeing what Coby Bryant will want to come to be a Cowboy.
I'm looking at a number of guys. If you're looking for difference-making guys, what you're looking for, I'm looking at Devin Lloyd, linebacker of the Jaguars. Broke out, big play guy for the Jaguars defense. He's looking for a deal. He's top 5 linebackers, $18 million a year. Jerry told me he can bust the budget. Well, go get a difference maker. Devin Lloyd, a linebacker. You talked about Trey Hendrickson. He's a proven pass rusher. Obviously he had a little injury this year. He's older, but here's the guy that can get it done. And he's at 31. He's had back-to-back 17 sack seasons before this past year. 4 straight Pro Bowls before this past year. Injuries limited in 4 sacks in 7 games this year. But here's a proven guy that can get there. If I'm looking for another defensive end, I'm looking at Odafe Oweh of the Chargers. 7.5 sacks this year. Again, he's going to be a high end. He's one of the top guys in the free agent market. But Jerry said he got money to bust the budget. Those are the type of guys I'm looking for that can help this defense. And then you talk about defense. What about Breece Hall of the Jets? What about Breece Hall? I mean, I know we got Javonte Williams at home. Breece Hall is a level above.
I think
and running back money is still going to be $6 million.
I think that's a luxury. I think running back is a luxury. I think that is that you got to
sign one. You got to sign your own or sign one of the other ones.
That's fine. I think again. I think you can do. I think you can take your chances with running back with starting out with Blue and Maffa, and then finding to me, you can find a veteran running back anywhere. To me, you can find. We're
not going to roll out Blue and Maffa. We're not going to roll out the unproven Blue and Maffa. We're not going to do Blue and Maffa.
I'm just saying, to me, running back is all about unless you're getting special, unless you're getting Henry, unless you're getting Saquon. To me, running back
Henry?
is all about.
Did you say Henry? Did you say Henry?
I did say Henry. I did say
they didn't call him.
They didn't call him.
I
got it.
Call Breece Hall. Okay. Call Breece Hall.
Make
the call. They should have called King Henry.
Yeah, to me, Breece Hall is tinted windows. You don't need it. You get it because you got you get it because you want to add a little something to your car. Car runs just fine without the tinted windows, without the rims. To me, Breece is a luxury. Running back right now is we can find that later in the draft. It's all about the scheme. And again, Breece isn't nothing special unless you're talking about one of the special backs. For me, to sign a deal like that in free agency, give it to Javonte or find some other back.
My point is, you're not. I'm not saying break the bank for him, but I mean he probably gonna get what Javonte gonna get, right?
Yeah, but he's not my first call.
Okay, I gave you other guys. I'm just saying I just threw him out there. I still got to sign him back, and if I'm gonna bring back Javonte, I'm looking at Breece Hall as well.
All right, man. Tell us what you think in the comments. If you were the GM, who would be the first call that you made in free agency? Who would that be the call to? Ring. Call them up. Jerry said he don't call folks, but you have to call some folks this off season. As Jeff would say, you never know what anyone is going through. So be kind to everybody. What I would always say is eliminate the contingencies.
Happy Valentine's Day.